Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to another YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back here together again, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a bit of an interesting video. So, earlier this week, Thomas Hayden Church, the actor that plays Sandman, who also played Sandman in Spider-Man 3 as well as Spider-Man No Way Home, he was doing an online interview with someone talking about that he's heard rumors about Sam Raimi coming back to do a fourth Spider-Man film starring Tobey Maguire. And so pretty much ever since No Way Home, people have always speculated if Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield are coming back for another Spider-Man film with their series. And that's also left me the question as to, like, if they actually did happen, which film would I be more excited for, or which one would I want more? Spider-Man 4 or The Amazing Spider-Man 3. And that's what this video is all about. Just kind of deciding which one I think I would want more. Now, before we get started with this, I just want to say I'm a massive fan of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I would say the first film is one of my favorite films of all time, one of my favorite comic book films of all time. Just the way they did the story, bringing that origin story to the big screen, the performances, the music, everything about that film is great. Spider-Man 2, I think, is possibly the best sequel that's not an origin story or multiverse story. And, you know, great action, great villain, great story, great character moments. Has a lot of good stuff, though I'm not exactly as crazy as everybody else with that film. I think it's Spider-Man 3, which, you know, it kind of has, I would say that's my least favorite Spider-Man film of all of them, just because it still has good action with Peter and Harry's arc, but it mostly has a lot of story issues with the love triangle between that and the villains. It handles a lot of stuff weirdly, so I still love Tobey's films. And then we get on to Andrew Garfield's films, which I'm actually I'm not a big fan of them, but, you know, I think the best thing about these movies is Andrew Garfield's performance as Spider-Man. He is Peter Parker. He handles being Peter Parker, and he handles being Spider-Man. When he's Spider-Man, he's goofy, he's quirky, he's comedic, and I love that. But I also love the way that they really do the performances in here, and that I love those kind of comic book movies where, if like fantasy films, where if you can make the performances real, you can do the fantasy. That's the best part about some fantasy films. And, you know, while you have, you know, electric stuff and lizard people, it's not exactly the most realistic thing in the world, but the performances is what makes this film a little bit more realistic, which is what I love about it. But, you know, the first Amazing Spider-Man film, you know, I liked. It was fine. The performances are still great, but the score is good. The villain was and then Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I hate like most people, but I enjoy that film, and I really enjoy a lot of good stuff about that film. Though the villains and the setup of future movies, not the best. And it was fine, but I did like Andrew's movies now rewatching them. And then we get the magic wish when they come in No Way Home. Obviously, it was the worst kept secret in Hollywood, but once they came back on screen and they were like and they were interacting with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, you know, the banter, Tobey, Andrew fixing Tobey's back, them interacting together, them swinging together, them saying "I love you guys" together. It's fantastic. It's great, and I love it. And even Tom Holland's films I do love, but I kind of feel like he's too much in the MCU that he can't be his own Spider-Man, which is why I love the ending of No Way Home, because he now can be his own Spider-Man, just like he always can be. And so I just think that just seeing them again, and even seeing and kind of like hearing about what they're doing in their own universes, that Andrew lost control of his punches, Peter and MJ are kind of working it out of being Spider-Man and stuff like that, and Andrew doesn't have a girl, but yeah, so I really like when they came back in No Way Home. Now, to answer really the big question, which film do I want to see, Spider-Man 4 or The Amazing Spider-Man 3? In all honesty, I'm going to have to choose The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Now, there's nothing wrong with Spider-Man 4. I would definitely see that. With Amazing Spider-Man 3, I just kind of see it as the best. When I think of that movie, I think of it as the greatest Spider-Man film that is not a multiverse or origin story. That's kind of how I see it. Because you're exploring the story after Gwen, so you're exploring death and how to deal with that, how to deal with loss, but also, you know, exploring a Spider-Man that, you know, doesn't hold back on his punches, and so there's an interesting story there. with Spider-Man 4, you're kind of seeing the dad version of him, kind of like an Incredibles version of him. So, I think that would be cool. Now, the thing about Amazing Spider-Man 3 is we have a fan film called Spider-Man Lotus coming out in 2 weeks. That's basically kind of going to cover that stuff of Gwen's death. So, I'm really, really excited to see that, and I'll be watching that on my way to Disney trip. Plus, I'm watching The Amazing Spider-Man 2 during my Disney trip when it comes out on Disney+. So, August, and then I'm making a Spider-Man video next week, well, this Tuesday, for the anniversary of Spider-Man. So, it's going to be a Spider-Man month for me. But with Spider-Man 4, there's not a lot of, I don't really think of, great Spider-Man film, though I do think it'll still be great. Amazing Spider-Man 3, I would say it's more emotional, pretty good action, great score, human, and just it could be one of the best, realistic fantasy films that I would watch. So, for me, I would definitely want Amazing Spider-Man 3. And that is my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All my social media stuff in the About section over there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.